And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for yourself.
We are the last Americans. We are the last Americans. We are the last Americans.
Yeehaw! Woo!
Yo, yo.
Slap my belly and call me Susie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Slap, just don't tickle my belly button. Don't do it.
And call me Susie.
Why not? You know,
I mean, I
in today's age, you know, you never know who's going to become a woman overnight.
I feel like I would have picked a better name than Susie.
Well, you know what? You're a better man than I am. So there you go.
Yeah. You guys having a good day?
Dudes. Yeah.
Good.
Not bad. It was just, you know, kind of flew by.
Yeah.
I am going to tell you, though, I miss seeing you guys first thing in the morning. That was like the one wake me up thing. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Chris is like, fuck that.
Yeah.
In, bro.
I hate doing it late. I got to be honest with you. Like, I feel like I sleep in now when I don't want to. You know?
Well, wake your ass up, dude. Like, just put on an alarm.
Why? What's the point? You know what I mean? Like, there's
God. I have
point,
no
dude.
reason to wake up and live.
Jesus.
My wife's working. Fucking kids are out playing. I'm like, fuck. I'll just fucking chill, dude.
Is your Blazer running yet?
What's that?
So is your Blazer running yet?
Yeah. I took it for a drive.
Hmm.
Yep.
Nice.
Got that.
Yep.
Had to, fix a flat tire today on the four-wheeler, like the little Razor four-wheeler for the kids. So I had to do that. So,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, you just reminded me. So like I fixed the hood latch in my car. So I have automatic start in my car. I have not used it in probably 4 years because the check engine light has been on. And you know, like those self-diagnostic things that you can plug in and it'll like, you have your like little app and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I did that and it was like something like a rotary arm, which is like in the engine. And then you have like the hood latch, which is like, okay. I looked up a bunch of freaking videos for my car and it said like, if the hood latch thing is going, your automatic start won't work, right?
Okay.
So I bought like a fucking, just a flimsy hood latch off of Amazon, you know, and everybody's like, oh, bro, this freaking worked. Yes. I put it in, it closed my hood, but like it just didn't take away the light. So I went and got the freaking thing fixed and like they fixed the rotary arm and they're like, do you want to do like $245? We can put that new hood latch on for you. And I'm like, no, I'll just buy the part and do it myself.
Because
I'm a fucking man. It was a lot, dude. It was, I don't know if that was the number, but it was up there. It was like around $200. But yeah, now it actually works. Because I guess with like the hood latches, it's something about the electrical current wasn't matching up. And that's what they said. They're like, when you buy like the third party off brand kind of stuff, it doesn't, right?
Just don't do that. you know?
Yeah. Like,
don't buy your car parts, especially for like a new car off of Amazon, dude. Like they're very specific on a lot of that shit.
Depends on what it is.
Especially with, I mean, if it's something like basic, you know, like
that's what
stuff.
I was thinking, dude. Like a hood latch is pretty basic, bro.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting there to be some sort of connection to electrical. Like,
oh yeah, there's all kinds of
that
shit now. Like if it'll have like a light come on if your hood's not latched right, or it'll beep at you,
that's exactly what it is.
It has all kinds of shit hooked to it.
Yeah, it's not like the old classic cars, man, where you could get away with like third, fourth party shit, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a 2015. I drive a 2015, bro, so it's not like a fucking, you know, it's not super new, but
yeah, but it's in the electronic age. You know what I'm saying? So like everything, like Chris was saying, everything is connected to sensors almost. So it's crazy, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
Well, good for you though.
It's nice to have it freaking back, dude. Like I miss like just getting into a nice warm car or a cold car if I want it. First world problems.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent all day today cutting down some trees and clearing some brush.
Oh, lumberjack Chris over here.
Yeah. And then I also pressure washed the brick all around the pool. And I was just kind of getting shit done today.
GSD.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. That's very cool.
Are you drinking a Mike's Hard Lemonade?
No, this is Dave's bitch beer. I'm drinking.
Yeah, man. I left it there for him.
Okay.
Jack Daniel's Down Home Punch.
Oh my, gross.
It's very sweet.
Dude, it's not that bad, bro. It's pretty good.
It tastes good.
It's pretty good. If you like Jack Daniels, you know what I'm saying? Like Jack Daniels has come out with a couple different lines now of like cocktail drinks.
Yeah.
They're pretty legit. They're pretty legit, dude. For the most part.
I can't even taste that it's like a Jack Daniels. You said, you could taste the Jack Daniels kind of flavor a little bit. I can't taste that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd freaking try it. You know what I mean?
You should. It's not that bad. But I'll tell you this: the cider selection in Texas is garbage. So if you're wanting something that's not beer, which you know me, I'm not a beer guy. You're pretty limited to like Eastside cider and fucking. At this point, Jack Daniels, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just go get a bottle of whiskey, bro.
It kind of sounds like we just need to open a cider place ourselves.
Man.
Dude, it would kill down there, wouldn't it?
Maybe not. I mean, why is there no other options? Is it because people here don't care for it? That might be the case, dude.
I don't know. Maybe
that could be it.
Eastside cider is not my favorite, though.
What about a big red cider, dude? Dave comes up with the first big red cider.
That's the most disgusting fucking thing that would be on this planet.
I would love it. Okay, fuck that. I would love it. I'd say on the bottle, it's going to make you feel good and give you diabetes. You know what I'm saying? It's great.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, since we're talking about beer, dude, Bud Light, they received the Star of Death at Costco. Okay. And I don't know that this much, but I guess that small little asterisk that they put on the price placard, it indicates that the item will not be restocked, and it is discontinued.
It's hilarious how far downhill it's going,
dude, isn't it? It's like, I mean, I didn't expect this far, but fuck.
Well, I mean, most of the stuff that we've talked about in the past, that like that whole go broke shit, like get woke, go broke. Most of that stuff is like, who cares? Like you kind of forget about. It's like Carhartt. People wear Carhartts.
Yeah.
Bud Light. There's other options, man. And so when you piss off your fan base,
a
lot of other options. And to be fair, Bud Light's not great. Like it's never been a great drink.
But it's always been in the top 10, dude. And it's like 14th
I know.
Now.
But it's a go-to drink. That's the only thing. Like everybody's like, just grab Bud Light, bro. It's kind of like grab, a certain toothpaste, like Colgate. It's like. But you can get another brand other than Colgate, so it's it's an easy one to me. And honestly, like look at their fan base. Their fan base are a lot of fucking red, white, and blue blood. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, dude. Yeah. A lot of hillbillies gonna go cut down some wood and chug a Bud Light.
I've never heard of this Star thing though, man. I is that like?
Well, yeah. So, Chris, if you can click the Twitter link there,
that's in
the
this
first
article.
Twitter link. Yeah. It's that first Twitter link. It'll open up a picture on Twitter, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. It's that little asterisk. And no, that is not it. I apologize. It's going to be a different one. Maybe. Yeah.
It's
there it is.
They replied to it.
Yeah, even Costco's getting out of the game.
Yeah, this little star up here.
Yes. So they were saying that. They did. I guess they were practically giving this shit away. They were selling it 2 times 12 packs, so 24 beers for $15.
That's a deal.
That's pretty damn cheap.
That's a good deal.
That's because no one's buying it.
Yeah,
they were giving away for free, man. I mean, come on.
Would you guys buy it just to take advantage of this opportunity right now? You know what I mean? It's kind of like when I went to Mexico, I went during the swine flu so I could get premium upgrades and shit. They're like, well, everybody's canceling. Do you want to get this upgraded flight? Yes, I do. You want to get this upgraded hotel room? Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
You know what I mean? It's like everything was just like, oh, wow. No one was
Greg's
there because
going to
fucking
Mexico
swine
and
flu.
he's like, I'm down with the sickness. Sign me up for all that shit.
I was like, wow.
Yeah. That's great, dude. Well, to not get sidetracked, I did look it up. That asterisk does mean that they are not going to restock, supposedly. And that was from 2021, so way before this whole thing kind of came through.
Yeah. So does that mean they're just not going to carry Bud Light anymore, or they're just not going to restock because they have so much?
They'll probably just not restock it. I don't know.
I think it means, because it's in the article that I found from 2021, it says when you see that, hurry up and stock up because more than likely it's not coming back. And that was for that was a completely different item, non-political.
Yeah, but I mean,
just,
usually like in that kind of industry, I feel like those symbols that they use don't change meanings.
That's what I'm
nuts.
saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. They're not going to bring it back. It sounds like
Costco's getting rid of Bud Light. That is just like, that's how powerful this movement has become.
Well, I'd want to go to Costco myself and see if that is actually there. Because, like, those signs are pieces of fucking 9x11 paper that anybody can fucking print. So, but to be fair, like, being in the grocery industry for all those years that I worked there, like, if something is not selling and it's sitting on a shelf, your goal is to change it out for something that is moving. Because they've always broke down, like, each rack is worth $1 million of sales a year. And if they're taking up space, they're losing money.
Yeah, that's primary real estate right there, bro.
Yeah, bring in Miller, man. Bring in some Natty Light. You know what I'm saying? Some fucking Milwaukee Beast, you know, whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was hilarious. The Death Star. I never heard it called that, but yeah. Apparently they're dead at Costco.
Was that the red ring of death on the Game
Xbox,
or Xbox?
Yeah,
man, same thing, dude. You see that red ring?
Is this gonna go down in like American history for like one of the top beers ever made to just almost cease to exist? Because they pissed the public off.
Yeah, it'll be known as like a phrase like, "Hey, don't go the way of Bud Light." You know what I mean? Because Target kind of they held their own. You know, because they all have the moms and shit that still go buy all that shit. Like Target still is doing okay, I feel like.
Yeah.
But Bud Light, no. Like they are the one woke company that is not recovering at all.
Well, Bud Light's very specific. Target has so many like groceries, clothes, electronics. Like people will forget about that. But Bud Light's easy to replace, man. Yeah. So I don't know if it's going to go down in history because, like, if you think about, there's always great companies that eventually die. And so I'm not saying that Budweiser will die per se, but every company has to have a downfall, and this is theirs as of right now. So unless they come up with something to fix this, which I really don't see them doing, like they could be the next company to be sold to Miller Lite, you know what I mean? Or something else, or whoever doesn't own them.
Man.
Well, dude, and it's, sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, I just feel like it's going to, if they were to trying to fix it, it's going to take them a while to dig out of this hole.
Right. But doesn't this encourage you guys? Like this movement just for a company. And now if this movement kind of tries to go into our school systems, maybe it's kind of encouraging sign that our parents or, parents out there will actually push back against the whole trans agenda.
Well, parents already are doing that, but that doesn't mean you're going to change the minds of the people that are actually dictating the way the schools are ran.
Yeah, I don't know. I see it as kind of a glimmer in like, okay, the people still have some sort of power, with the power of their purse, what they choose to buy.
The people have always had the power to choose and like to force things like that, but whether they decide to wield it or not has always been the issue.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same thing. Unfortunately, I think like I said earlier, Bud Light is a specific thing that is easy to give up on. It's why you just said Target's doing well, even though they have tons of controversy. The bathroom thing, the LGBTQ thing. Like when you're talking about schools and you're restricted on only so many schools, you know what I mean? Or in your school district, like that's a lot harder to get people to like switch away from.
Well, you got a lot more liberals in there too, right?
It's not anything to do with the liberals. Like you have to, you can homeschool. And we always said like homeschool your kids, right? But that's harder to do than they say. Like it's not that easy for people to like they have jobs, 40-hour jobs. They're not going to be able to necessarily just remove their kids from school. So
yeah, well, and then not everybody is like a natural teacher, dude. Like teaching kids is kind of hard,
Kind of. It sucks. Like when I was doing that, it was I would not want to fucking do that. It sucks. But again, like you don't have as many options when you're talking about schools. Compared to Bud Light. Like Bud Light's a luxury, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
oh wow. In what third world is Bud Light a luxury?
Dude, I'm saying drinking a beer.
He's saying the choice of Bud Light is a luxury.
I'm saying the idea that you want to get a cold beer is just it's a fun thing that you do. Like I'm gonna throw down a cold beer. It's nice outside. It's not like I have to send my kids to school or a job. Yeah, it's very, very different. So I'm not like as like this is a glimmer of hope. Like I think it's good that Bud Light is called out, but when it comes to schools, it's going to take a lot more for people to really have some significant changes. So
Yeah, I totally agree.
yeah, so we'll leave it at that, I guess, huh?
Yeah,
There's a silence there. There's a fucking
it's the moment of silence because they're dying.
Moment.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's just like I agree, but it's like, you know, I see it as some sort of hope. I just don't know if there's anything left to cling on to for hope nowadays. So this this whole Bud Light thing. Yeah, I'm trying to like
find something.
Yeah, I'm trying to like, you know, find the good and everything here, but it is hard.
What I would say is if you're a company that is into one specific thing, you know, like a certain clothing line or certain shoe, probably don't fuck around and find out. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many other options. But right now, schools and jobs and shit can get away with a whole lot more, and people will forget over time. I think, unfortunately. So,
I get
you. Yeah, that's where I'm at least,
dude. So what did you bring here? I see a couple articles that look pretty interesting.
I want to talk about the RFK right off the bat.
Yes,
dude.
Right on.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. does his now. See. Part of me thinks this is fake. I got to be real with you, but it's on New York Post page 6, so I'm guessing it's real. But he did his press dinner, which exploded in a war of words and farts.
Wait,
yeah,
like
you heard that right.
Actual farts?
Yep, you heard that right, bud. So to break this down quickly, there was 2 elderly men in the crowd. And one had asked a question about climate change because, you know, he's an advocate for, you know, cleaner earth and all that kind of shit. Another gentleman, he broke out in a climate change is a hoax.
Shit. Hell
so
yeah.
It turned into a screaming match between these 2 men in the crowd, which they go on to say that Kennedy was standing there quietly listening as these people are yelling at each other. Back and forth about what's a hoax, what's not a hoax, such and such. But the guy, I'm trying to find the exact line here. So he screams that it's a scam.
Chris, can you show this guy? This is the guy in the leather jacket, right? Holding that drink next to that woman. He was, he was the guy saying it's a hoax.
Yeah.
Right there. That's the guy, dude. Look how sexy this man is. He's got a tie with no shirt. He put the tie on his freaking neck.
His tie's inside his shirt.
It's inside of his shirt. Is that like a bolo tie or something, or what?
I feel like he just had sex and threw his clothes back on real quick. You know what I'm saying? That's the look that it has.
He left the tie on for fun, is what was going on.
I get you. I wouldn't picture this guy's name as Doug.
I would.
He doesn't look like a Doug to me.
He's a creepy ass Doug.
So creepy ass Doug.
He's a former gossip columnist, Doug DeShirt. He became enraged about climate change, calling it a hoax. Okay. The other gentleman, though, he...
oh, boy. Look at this guy.
This guy?
Yeah, Anthony Hayden Guest. So...
Whoa! He looks straight out of Harry Potter, bro.
I'm trying to find this line.
He looks like what's the duck with all the money? What's that one? If that duck was a human being, that would be him. Was it Scrooge McDuck?
Freaking yes. Scrooge.
Yes. Keep check.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So they were yelling. I'm trying to find this one particular line here. I wish I would have highlighted this shit. That's why I hate this crap. But so, anyways, the Hayden guy, the older fellow dude, was calling to him like a miserable blob. Told him to shut up. You know, all this crap. But then he proceeded to like fart.
Oh.
And it says the old man. He says,
"Dude, I see it. Do you see it?" His quote?
Oh no, DeShirt, the climate hoax guy, the guy with the tie. He says, "Here it seems DeShirt sensed the need for a new rhetorical tact and let rip a loud, prolonged fart while yelling, as to underscore his point. I'm farting."
Dude, I like how this was written from like the 19th or the 18th century or something. "'Tis hither come forth his fart."
Hold on. He
yelled his cheeks.
He yelled, "I'm farting," as he was farting.
Yelled, yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Why?
Oh God.
You just stop in the middle of an argument and you just yell, well, yeah, I'm farting.
I win.
What are you doing?
So he later came out and apologized for farting and said he was trying to like prove a point.
Yeah, he said it right here, dude. I apologize for using my flatulence as a medium of public commentary in your presence.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That's how I'm gonna win a fight from now on. I'm just gonna yell that I'm farting. And then the argument's over.
Did you see his nicknames, Dave? He also asked us to refer to him as either the gallivanting Boldivar, Boldivier, I don't know what the fuck that word is, or beer-fueled sex rocket.
Wow.
Didn't.
Beer-fueled sex rocket right here.
This guy is the fake person. This guy is real.
Dude,
yeah.
it's like a rich elitist that really does not give a shit about anything.
Right?
I remember when I was talking to Ross from Drinking Bros, just outside of the studio, we were talking. He was talking about, he's like, dude, I just want to be rich as fuck, bro. He's like, I want to be so rich that I can like smack a fucking waitress and just throw a fucking $20,000 at them and fucking move on with my life. They get paid, I get to slap them. Like,
that's
so
what
wealthy.
Ross wants to become?
Well, it was a joke, but what he's saying is
He
he
wants
wants
to
to
be that
so
rich.
wealthy. He wants to be so wealthy that he can get away with anything, right? So this kind of shows you that this guy is like screaming.
Yeah.
And he just fucking lets out a nasty prolonged fart and yells, I'm farting.
Dude, you don't need wealth to do that. You just need old age to do that. Like, the older you get, the more you can get away with. That's why Biden gets away with so much.
True. Yeah, that's maybe true. But to Chris's point, the next time you fight with your wife, just fucking rip a fart, say, I'm farting, and watch that conversation dissolve
Don't
and
just
become normal again.
You can't just say, I'm farting. You have to yell it with passion.
Yeah. And then say, call me the beer-fueled sex rocket!
There you go. I actually prefer the
over.
approach of just not saying anything, no screaming, just eye contact and making sure they understand what you're doing. And I just feel like, how do you come back from that?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Just
like
the silent eye contact while you're farting?
Yeah, you just look at him. She's like, fuck you. And you're like, hold on. You know, and just rip your shit. And she goes, I can't even be mad at you anymore. I love you. You field sex rocket fucking, yeah, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
That wins them over.
Dude, is this guy like, show the bottom picture here, Chris, because it looks like he's with some pretty good looking women for.
Yeah, he's Epstein 2.0.
Oh, no. Hopefully
no,
not.
I don't know if that's true or not, but
I mean, he's pulling some tail. He must have a lot of money, bro.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
What is that painting behind him? Look at that painting.
Yeah, it's pretty
You see
weird.
that?
It's like it's like a death metal band's cover.
It looks like I don't know, Chris. What do you think that is? You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it looks like I don't know, like these are like weird. I have no idea.
It looks like a baby doll, like a fucking.
Kind of just looks like almost like
Sunken-
a ghostly picture or something.
He probably farted on that picture, turned it dead. I don't know. I don't know. He's doing something. But yeah, all right. So
yeah, so
I just
thought it was
on
funny.
purpose. You think this was on purpose
No.
and like to make RFK kind of look dumb?
No, I think you have elitists and they think they can run the show. I think that he was doing a press dinner and was trying to probably fundraise, do his whole bit. You know, he's running for president, obviously. And I think it got out of control. So good for him, because it sounds like he just let them do their thing and just stood there quietly as it was happening.
Yeah, but he says down here, it says, Hayden says fighting in public is very unusual for him. But when it's a preposterous and it's a life or death issue with the planet, he's basically going to make an exception.
Oh, boy. Boy.
I don't know, man. Maybe the guy was farting because he's, you know, the whole like, you know, anti-climate shit. And they're saying like how cow farts are fucking polluting. So he's like farting to prove like, hey, man, we all fart, dude. It's not, you know, it's not fucking damaging the ozone. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I don't know. A little CO2 in the room. Ain't going to hurt nobody.
I think it's more methane than CO2.
Dude, I don't. So Robert F. Kennedy has been coming out with some shit that I've been like adamantly disagreeing with. And I'm just like, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shocking, dude.
Yeah, right. Isn't it?
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, he comes out about like NATO. Like this was just a couple hours ago. He says Biden promises long war in Ukraine followed by Ukraine joining NATO. Since NATO membership for Ukraine is totally unacceptable to Russia, basically that means permanent war. It's like, no, NATO membership for Ukraine is unacceptable for everyone. Because if Ukraine got into NATO, that's fucking World War III, right?
Well, for Russia.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, for everybody. Because you'd have to go in and,
as soon as they would start fighting, then what's Russia going to do? No holds barred at that point, right?
Well, no, I was just saying that Russia made it very clear, and I believe it was part of the treaty, was it not, that the UN would not encroach their borders? I mean, this is like, this has been around. This is why Russia supposedly was adamant to go to war as is, because they felt like it was getting closer and closer, and that their end of the treaty was being withheld, but the others was not. So,
yeah. And like just listening to more and more about what he says about guns, like he says that he wouldn't take away guns, but I have a feeling he would. Like if Congress voted on it and got it to his desk and he was president, he would sign it and like go through with it.
I think so. Dude, I think the guy has a lot of like really good points, man. I said that to you, and I understand the intrigue, right? Because it's rare to have somebody on the left, and I'll say he's on the left, actually makes sense on some of their talking points, right? So it's kind of like this whole thing where people just jump end over end, like, yes, he's great. And I'm like, I've been saying it from the beginning, like, he's a great guy. I think he's got a lot of positive characteristics, right? But I just don't trust that dude yet, like at all.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's going to come back to him being a Democrat, and that will not change.
Well, the biggest things that I disagreed with him were the over the weekend, the 2 Supreme Court decisions, right? So the fact that all of the students who Biden said they don't have to pay back their student loans, the Supreme Court came out and said, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. came out and saying like, oh, this is the fault because Biden didn't really take care of it. This is important. We got to take care of these kids. And,
no, we don't.
Wait a second. What?
No, we don't. I mean?
Yeah.
You don't get a free pass in this bitch.
Yeah. I don't agree with that either.
Yeah, bro.
No, I mean, how are you supposed to learn, man? We're dealing with that right now, right? We're buying homes. We're investing in things. We're making decisions with a lot of money. And like, that's a huge thing. You're supposed to think about like, hey, how much is it going to cost me to do this? How much do I have to work to get to this point? Do I have enough funds? And college kids, it may not be their fault, but it certainly is the fault of like the high schools and their counselors and their parents who are not informing these kids that you realize how much money you are going to spend, right? And that your job that you're going to for some, whatever it is, cisgender fucking studies is not going to pay that back, right? Yeah. So like, it's a lack of like responsibility on a lot of people.
Yeah, regardless of what you're going to school for, a financial future has to be on a priority list.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so this is what he said on June 30th. I know it's a while ago, but the unfortunate SCOTUS ruling striking down President Biden's #student loan forgiveness program was the predictable result of Biden's failure to bring Congress together on this issue of crucial importance to young Americans.
No.
And he's saying that he would take steps to reduce education costs, blah, 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 blah.
That's great. No, that's great. Like, I think that universities are too fucking expensive.
Yeah.
That's not wrong.
Absolutely.
No, you can cut
funding.
The costs and how expensive things are, but you're not going to pay people's debts for them.
No,
and that's the thing is, look at that 2008, like where we had the crash, bro, right? Like if you want to talk about a point in time where you could argue that people should have been forgiven is when they were losing their homes because bankers were literally fucking us in the ass, right? And they were not willing to help people that were losing their homes. They helped the banks recover. Remember that shit? So you think for a second that like they're going to let like schools like just get free admission for these kids that, chose to do this? No, they're not.
Yeah, but at the same time, is it completely the bank's fault that you decided to sign on for something you knew you couldn't afford?
For what, a house?
Yeah.
It wasn't that way, I don't think, Chris. No,
there was a lot of people being approved for stuff that was way out of their budget.
Yeah, the balloon loans or something.
Listen, when you talk to a bank right now, which I know you just did it, we're doing it right this minute. They're saying, okay, what's your debt to income ratio? Like all this stuff, right? And they're going to try to finagle. But there's some evidence that they were like not letting people, like they weren't telling people the risk. They were saying, you're good to go. we'll make it work. And then these people had no idea that they were actually getting fucked. Because there's a lot to it. You know this. There's a lot to the back door.
I'm sure there was a lot of that.
There's a lot to the back door?
There's a lot to the back door.
Oh,
takes many years. It takes many years to get to that point.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
There definitely was a lot of like shenanigans that people weren't probably aware of, but there was also a lot of people signing fucking documents they knew they probably shouldn't be signing in the first place. There was people getting approved for stuff that they shouldn't have been approved for. That was definitely happening, and it probably still is happening.
I know, but at what point where does that blame lie? Like, I'm with you in the sense that like people should be aware of like what their finances are and like the monthly payments, right? But if a bank, listen, that was a long time ago. I don't have any information to kind of throw your way here, but if the bank comes to you and you say you call them, you just did this a couple months ago, we did a couple months. You call and say, hey, this is how much we make. What are we approved for? Yeah. And they say, oh, you're approved for 500,000. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And you go, rat, that's great. So I'm going to start looking at homes. This is how much we make and you're approved for it. If you think that you're good because the cost will be fine, so be it. But there's that backdoor stuff that I was talking about that like you may not understand that when shit hits the fan, all of a sudden you're underwater. And I don't know that everybody realized that. You know what I mean? So not taking personal responsibility out of it, I think people need to be aware. But the banks were definitely being shicey as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
they were. Yeah, where Chris was going is there were the bubble loans where like after a certain amount of time your monthly payment will go up X amount. Yeah. I don't think that they were disclosing that.
No, right? They weren't. No.
The other thing that RFK,
or if they were, it was in like the minute details that they weren't explaining to people.
Yeah, and if you've ever signed papers for a home, you know how fast they fucking read through that shit,
for
right?
sure, bro. Yeah.
So there's a lot of problems. Now, again, I'm a big fan of personal responsibility, so I don't think anything should be paid for, like when it comes to that kind of stuff. But the banks certainly should have been bailed out. And the university students, I'm sorry, maybe you should have realized that you should pick a better job that maybe had more availability when you got out of school.
So just for clarification, you said the banks shouldn't have been bailed out, right?
They shouldn't have been bailed out. Sorry. They should not. No, they should not have. They fucked up and we bailed them.
Yeah. Bail out the people, not the banks.
If you're going to bail out anybody. Yeah.
Right. Yes. The other thing that RFK Jr. was, being kind of weird about is this Supreme Court ruling about banning affirmative action in higher education.
It's a good thing.
He goes, I know many Americans feel that purely race-based decisions are unfair. However, this feeling misses important context. The effects of racist policies going back centuries are now self-perpetuating. Right here. Affirmative action understands this and uses race-based policies to undo the effects of racist policies. So he's basically saying we kind of need affirmative action to undo the effects of racist policies.
No, I disagree completely. Right? Like,
yeah,
affirmative action to me is a racist program, in my opinion.
Yes, yeah,
and that's not even reflecting on white.
Is he trying to go
out
mostly
this, Asians?
Is he trying to go out this like a fight fire with fire type thing?
I don't know, dude. But it's like if you're bleeding out, are you like, wait, is the black doctor gonna work on me? Fuck it, I want to die. You know, like you're not worried about that shit, dude.
Yeah,
like you want the best person available.
Well, it's kind of like
what's like for your kids and stuff too.
What Jordan Peterson says too is like there are, whether we like it or not, like women, men, like there's certain even nationalities like Indian or something, that go into certain areas of fields. Well, I don't know why, but like as far as doctors, like Middle Eastern, Asian, like to be in the medical fields a lot more. I mean,
Hispanics. Right, lawn care. You're looking at like
that's pretty bad. But
I'm just saying it is, dude.
They're more labor, is what you're saying. Like Mexican people are very good at labor jobs. They work their asses off. But the point
I'm not saying whether they're good or bad. I'm just saying you see them prominently in those types of jobs.
I thought you were going to do a Joy Behar where she's like, "Well, who's going to clean my toilets?" I
got to go on vacation. Damn it!
Yeah,
come here, Pablo.
What Jordan Peterson says is like men and women, that's mostly obviously sex, but they go into different areas of fields and expertise, and some pay more than others. And you're not going to change that, right? Like maybe a couple more people will do mechanics, a couple women will do mechanics that maybe wouldn't have before. But in general, men go into like, hands-on kind of stuff, right? Women go into like care.
They're assuming that everybody wants to do everything. And it's like, no. Some people like just to do what they like to do. And if it forms into a little niche and they happen to not make a lot of money, then fucking just let them do it.
Well, and it's like hobbies and it's like interests, right? So like when I was in auto shop in high school, I took 3 classes my senior year and I was in auto shop the year before. We had one woman in our auto shop class and she was awesome. She was great. She knew cars. She loved cars, but all in all, it was men.
Was like a 30-year-old woman was in your high school class? What the hell? Was Billy Madison? Who the hell was this?
Just a girl.
Okay. So you had a girl in your class.
Yeah, well, I'm older now, so I'm used to saying. But my point is
I had one in my welding class. There was only one.
Yeah. What I'm saying is it's not 50-50. Like most women, I would bet, do not care to go into like working on cars or doing welding or even plumbing, right?
But the assumption is that like we're not giving them the chance because of the sexist policies that are in place. It's like,
if they're good, if they can prove that they're good, like a guy has to prove that he's good, they can get the job.
Not always.
They will get the job.
Sometimes
my dad
will get the job.
Years ago, my dad dated a woman she was a nice woman, but she was a pipe fitter, bro. And she was fucking dude. Nice. That woman could wrench. She was built like a brick shit house, dude. She was fucking boots. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, brother.
My point is she liked it and she was built for it and she loved it. But that's not all women, right? Like that's not how most women are. So,
well, dude. So I heard Dave Smith kind of break this down perfectly. He's like, imagine if the NFL or the NBA used affirmative action, and they had to hire X amount of white people, X amount of Asians, X amount of Hispanics. He's like, no, their team would cripple. There's a reason why they pay by your performance. They want the best of the best.
Yeah.
And that's how every job should be.
As a guy who loves the NBA, I would agree with you, right? There's some amazing white basketball players, no doubt, right? But if you had to have a set quota, okay, they may be a good basketball player, but they're not going to be a fucking great basketball player in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Now there's some great white basketball players, no doubt, like some of the greatest of all time, Larry Bird and shit like that. Yeah, Stockton's. I mean, you have some really great white basketball players, but I'm just saying, in modern league, no, you want the best player on your team that you can fucking get, dude. And if he's black, Asian, white, it doesn't matter. If he's fucking good, you're picking his ass. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
There's not very many Asian basketball players.
There's more now than there has been. I think like you had the Lin Sanity, Jeremy Lin for a while that was like blowing up. You had
Yao Ming.
What's this? Yao Ming was a fucking force, bro.
Yeah.
And you're seeing more and more. And that's because in China and Japan, basketball is becoming a sport that kids are actually playing now. And it's like the European League. Some of the best players right now are European. And so it's because that over the past 30 years, the European League has got so good and it's an actual league that they're actually becoming competitive with the American League. So it all will come around.
They're not going to like that.
Why?
Because they don't like having competition. You hear the whole thing about LL Cool J or whatever, or Ice Cube. Ice Cube is what it is, where he's got that the Big Three league.
Big Three, yeah.
Apparently, there's a whole bunch of drama with the NBA and him going down because they are like they used to talk about it all the time on their programming, like this person or whatever went to the Big Three, and now I guess he was told that they're not allowed to even mention the Big Three anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I get it as far as like it's competition technically, even though it's a very different style.
Yeah,
it's competition, right? But the truth of the matter is if you get phased out of the NBA, you're going to go where it gives you money, right? So a lot of like even Dwight Howard, all-star center, getting a little older, he got phased out of the NBA now. He's playing in fucking China, or fucking Korea.
Well, yeah,
and it's like.
And that's the thing. That's kind of why he like created it. Because like, yeah, people retire from the NBA, but they still got it. They just can't play games every single night.
Well, they're not $10 million guys anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like they phase that point out. Like they're not making that much money, so they're gonna go make cash in the Big Three league. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna make pennies on the dollar in comparison, but they're still gonna be able to play the sport and make a living. Dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I get that they don't want the competition. I totally understand it. And the Big Three should be able to stand alone, just like the European leagues do. They'll get to that point eventually.
It's kind of chicken shit by the NBA.
I mean, listen, if you were like a major, business owner of some, whatever it was, I mean, even beer or something, right? Like, you're not going to go necessarily rep another beer. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna stick to your beer and try not to get people to go try new beer.
Yeah,
you know
but it's almost not even like not even competition to the NBA. It's like a completely different fucking thing, a completely different slew of talent that is going there. It's not the same.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see the NFL talking about the XFL or the Canadian League. Like, unless somebody gets drafted from it, you're not going to see them represent that either.
Not doing like commercials or having like banners and stuff, but not even being able to mention it. Not even like in passing conversation, like, oh yeah, that person plays at Big Three now. They're not allowed to do that.
It could be the fact that it's not there yet. Because, like, even me who loves basketball, like, I haven't said the Big Three name until today. And it's been at least 2 or 3 years since I've said it before. It's not like a relevant thing that people would even talk about right now,
Yeah.
It's just, there's just not a lot of traction to it yet. Like, it could get there. But
that's what makes it funny that they're cracking down so much on do not mention Big Three, even though it's so little in comparison.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, it's they don't talk about a lot of stuff, man. Like, there's the G League, that pay players. Portland Trailblazers picked up Scoot Henderson, who came as a 17-year-old into the G League. He played 2 years in the G League, which is a semi-professional league. Mm-hmm. And even though like it's the G League's an affiliate of the NBA, like they don't necessarily talk about them as much. And Scoot Henderson was making $1 million as a 17-year-old. Like it was a paid league. I mean, it's not like a ton of money compared to the NBA, but it's just I think that there's such a juggernaut. And the NFL is such a juggernaut that they don't want to fucking give any like credence to anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I still think it's chicken shit. It's dumb in comparison to like motocross to supercross, because you'd never catch anybody not being able to say, oh, that guy left the States and now he's going and racing a GP over in Europe. Like, they can say that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They probably just don't want to promote it.
The whole thing with them not being able to say anything, like I've never heard that other than like Ice Cube saying that. So
that's where I heard it is from him.
Yeah. So I mean,
Ice Cube's full of shit then?
No, I haven't heard it. I've never heard them talk about it, and I've never heard that there was like some, kind of a tight-lipped thing. But yeah, I mean, the NBA doesn't even talk about the WNBA. Like they don't even, and that's like a literal affiliate in a lot of ways. So it's I don't know. I kind of see both sides, I guess, on it.
All right,
but I get it, Chris. Chicken shit, fucking NBA, fucking
chicken shit NBA, dude. They're run by China. What do you expect?
True.
So
in some aspects, some aspects.
They probably eat chicken shit. It's probably like a delicacy, like a ranch, like a ranch dressing or something.
Little street food, fucking chicken shit on a stick.
Nummy.
Yeah, you got your monkey and dip it in some chicken shit.
All right, on, bro. Well, yeah. So, I mean, yesterday we kind of had some technical difficulties, just a peek behind the curtain. But we did talk about how, like, the Sound of Freedom, there's all this stuff coming out about sex crimes against children, right? Mm. And all this stuff. Now, there was this one article that I brought here where you had this BBC, I think this was like a top presenter here, bro. He was accused of paying this teen $45,000 for sexually explicit photos. And so what he did was, since this kid was 17 years old for 3 years, who is this? This is Hugh Edwards, right? Yeah, Hugh Edwards on the BBC. He was paying this kid, like over the span of 3 years, a total of $45,400 US for lewd photos and sexual performances, which the child used to fund a crack cocaine addiction.
Mm.
Oh, damn.
Come to find out, this young child was Hunter Biden. Yes. No, it wasn't Hunter Biden, but damn, dude. The mom's fucking pissed because it's like, yeah, right. The mom says, quote, a happy-go-lucky youngster to a ghost-like crack addict in just 3 years.
Yeah, so she was pissed about the crack and not the fucking dick? I mean, come on, dude.
I know, right? The kid was 17, and he's like performing these sexual acts for this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but just because you're sending somebody dick pics for money doesn't mean you're just going to start doing crack.
No, exactly. But I'm just saying, like, that he was 17, you know, and that's kind of that's underage. And
what Greg's saying is the kid had a crack addiction, and that's why he was doing this, is to fund his crack addiction already.
Exactly.
So the guy, whether he knew about it, it doesn't matter.
So he was a crackhead beforehand.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yep.
Supposedly.
Yeah, and so that's why the mom's pissed, right? Because she's like, we had him on track, and then all of a sudden, this fucking pervert wants pictures of his dick, and now he's back on crack again.
I just feel like the crack is second to the fact that an old man was trying to get with your 17-year-old. I mean, that's to me, I'm like, fuck the crack. Like, this guy is a fucking pedophile, dude.
Right? And now what's funny is his wife, I was going to say his mom. Wow, Freudian slip. Edward's wife came forward claiming that he suffers from, quote, serious mental health issues and has been treated for severe depression in recent years. Okay, so they're trying to like turn the coin so he's the victim now because he has like a mental disorder. It's like, yeah, no shit. He likes to look at young boys.
Well, and the crazy part is the kid was 17, bro. Like, you had 1 year to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, one more year and you would have been in the clear. You know what I mean? But you couldn't fucking... You couldn't
One more
fucking
year to
do
the clear. That's
you
true.
couldn't fucking do it.
Maybe he didn't. Well, I mean, we don't. Does it say in here somewhere that the old guy actually approached the kid, or did the kid just start selling shit to?
Dude, I don't know. That's a good question.
And this was in Britain.
Yeah.
What is the consent age in Britain?
I have no idea.
Dude, I think it's the same. I think it's around the same, at least.
Hold on.
I'm curious. I'm curious because I know some countries is very different, dude.
Yeah, she's saying one time he had one lump sum of 5,000 euros. The money had been in exchange for sexually explicit photographs.
The age of consent in the United Kingdom is 16.
16.
Oh, so there you go. He was of age, okay?
Yeah, so this
that's
is
not
the
a problem.
age. This is the age when young people of any sex, gender, or sexual orientation, why do you have to say that? Okay. Can legally consent to taking part in sexual activity. So, but that's my point is like, that's their age of consent. So if that's what their law is, then that's what their fucking law is, man.
Well, now, so it's going to get worse for this guy because apparently there's 3 more allegations coming forward. So he has this possibly serial offender kind of charge looking at him. And allegedly he got abusive on these messages. So he was threatening and abusive on these messages. And we have 3 more youngsters that are coming forward.
Oh,
so we had a second person.
Wasn't just that one kid he was buying from?
No. So yeah, now there's 3 more people. So there was a second person who came forward that there were threatening messages coming forward. What's up, Dave?
I was just reading this and I had no idea because I'm just playing off this real quick. It says, can a 20-year-old date a 16-year-old in Britain? Right? 20. This guy's obviously way older, but it says, even though the age of consent is 16, it says once you turn 16, you can have legal sex with anyone else who is also above the age of consent. But sexting with anyone under 18 is illegal.
Oh shit. So they caught him, bro.
Another twist.
So you can fuck in the butt at 16, but you can't sex.
Isn't that that's messed up, bro. Man, that's backwards. You know
maybe they feel like
you can have you can have intimacy stuff, but you can't have worldly stuff.
Well, I'm kind of wondering if they don't think that like social media, sexting, social media. Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. I wonder if they think that social media like is manipulating kids to do things that they wouldn't do in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like in person, they wouldn't actually do it. So like they can manipulate them on social media. Is that why?
I think it's because you have the media file and you have the opportunity to spread that around.
With the worldly, like you're either intimate one-on-one or you're sexting, and now it's fucking everywhere.
True. Yeah, it could be any country, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can blackmail people with it. You know, I don't know.
Ah, true. That's a weird one though, dude. Usually that's weird to me. Honestly,
that is weird,
sexting. Like a 2-year difference.
Like, why not just raise the age of consent at that point?
Exactly. Right? Just get rid of the whole thing. Like, why are you worried about it? But this article has a video of him where he's like disgracing Andrew Tate because Andrew Tate, is like wants to be a man and he talks about masculine things and he kind of does some crazy shit to women if they ask for it. We don't know, but in this little clip, it's just like he's totally hypocritical. We don't have to play it. If you do, it's like 30 seconds long, but it is kind of just the cherry on top.
No, we can play it.
This is the old man.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Hugh Edwards. This is him talking about Andrew Tate.
Hugh sounds like somebody that has sex with a 17-year-old.
Is it not working there?
To organized crime. Meanwhile, schools around the UK are reporting what they say.
You might have to rewind it, bro.
Why?
Especially among teenage boys, to express admiration for Andrew Tate, whose online videos express contempt for women and even advocate violence. And some schools are devoting entire lessons to discussing his views while offering guidance on how to deal with his material. Our special correspondent Lucy Manning has been.
Oh yeah, so I think it came in mid video.
Oh,
I don't know, but it's cool. I honestly don't even think that he said much right there. Like I didn't hear anything that was worth listening to anyway.
No.
Okay, nice
All
clip.
Right. So what did he say exactly, or what were you thinking he said?
I think that he was kind of like poking fun at Andrew Tate, saying like, "How bad is this man for the children in our society?" Meanwhile, he's gathering sex photos
doing
from a young boy.
Thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how bad are you, Hugh Edwards?
Yeah, I think the differences in his eyes would be that Andrew Tate actually has power to sway a lot of people, and he's just swaying one. You know what I'm saying? Just one loudly little crackhead.
Good old swinging dick, whatever the fuck his name is, little boy.
I mean, listen, it's like, I understand the laws are different and that's fine. If like 16 is the age of consent in Britain, then I guess legally he's not,
Isn't that weird though?
Well, I mean, listen, I think it's all weird,
except
right?
he was sexting, so it is illegal.
It is illegal for sexting, absolutely. But it is weird because 18 is a number that we decided we wanted to make it. 18, right?
Yeah.
But what's the difference between 18 and 19 or 17 and 18? Like, obviously there's maturity and stuff like that, but 16, oh boy, I feel like 16, like you're just driving a car. I don't know, man. I feel like that's a weird age of consent for me.
And it's one of those things where people get away with these things, these acts of sexual crimes, because they go to countries where it's legal there.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you go to I don't know if it's like the Philippines or Indonesia or somewhere over there, but where you could get away with a lot of underage sex stuff, and it's legal. It's
weird to me that there's not like a little like asterisk that says like, if you want to have sex at 16, it can only be like a 5-year, or something. Like you can't have sex with a 50-year-old or some fucking 29-year-old. You know what I mean? Like it's weird that 16. Like, because if you're in high school, for example, right, you may know a kid that's 18 or 19 years old, right? Yeah. And you're 16. And that's like in the realm of who you would be around. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're in high school. But then after that, it's like if you start getting to where you're boning like 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds, it's like, where are you meeting them? You probably met them online. You know what I'm saying? You're not clubbing at 16
but at that point, it's like if you're going to give them the decision, you're going to give them the decision.
Yeah, I guess I just don't agree with it as a whole.
It's
but
weird.
That's what they decided, man. That's their thing.
Yeah.
So,
well, dude, so you had something here about the Catholic chaplain, and it kind of fits into this whole thing, like with the abuse, right?
Dude, I just threw it in because I thought it was interesting. There's a Catholic chaplain who sexually abused Louisiana students who's only jailed for 5 years. So he actually had two charges or 2 cases where he had molested minors.
Yeah, he pled guilty.
2 minors who he had met through his work and ordered to spend 5 years in prison. Like, I just feel like if you're a person of power, especially, right? Like you're a church leader, right? Somebody that, same with a teacher, right? Somebody that a student or a kid would go to look up to ask for advice, and you take advantage of that. That's even worse in a lot of ways in my mind, that they trusted you and you let them down. But just 5 years, like 2.5 years per kid, man.
Well, dude, I think the most surprising thing of this story is someone in the Catholic Church sexually abusing a child. Like, you just never hear about that. Psych! I fucking got you guys.
Nah.
Yeah,
It's
this
true.
thing,
It's
it's like, dude, it's like, how many times have we heard this? Yeah, Catholic priest molest child. Oh, okay, again.
Well, yeah, well,
At least a couple times a year.
Yeah, and but the difference is what they've done historically is not charge them and just move them to a different church, right?
Yeah.
Relocate them. And we've seen that over and over again. So the fact that somebody was charged, I think, is positive. It's just like, bro, there's people in jail right now on bigger charges for like weed. You know what I'm saying? Like for minor crimes. And you're talking about a minor that you molested, bro. And you get 2.5 years? Like, damn, dude, I'm sorry, but that's some weak ass sauce right there, dude.
Dude, this this guy's name is Patrick. What is it? Wattigny?
Wattigny.
Patrick Wattigny. That's the Roman Catholic, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he said the victim said that Wattigny told him that he could help him gain entry into heaven. And then
oh my God.
And then took him to a rectory to fondle his genitals.
And
then I don't want to say and I don't want to say the next one because there's some fingers
you gotta be careful.
and there's some
I think I heard that he had a nickname of "What's in me, Wattigny." So I'm curious.
What's in me, Wattigny?
I heard that's reality. Dude.
That's not real.
Okay,
come on.
That's not real. I made that up, but it's still fucking good.
What's in me, Wattigny? That's gross.
What's in me, Wattigny?
Oh God. These guys should be spending like any kind of charge like this. You should be at least, in my opinion, 5-10 years per person at minimum, bro. And that's being like extremely like, oh, you just touched a ball. Either way, 10 years, man. Like 2.5 years to me is almost like, it's almost like those kids cannot feel like they got justice. You know what I'm saying? The families cannot feel good about that.
Yeah, it's almost like these. I don't want to say all priests, you know what I mean, but it's like
no, it's not.
If you get into this position where you're going to be, horny around little boys, you got to take something that makes you not horny, right? Or like get that thing chopped off, so that way you don't be. Because that's the thing is like this article goes in to describe that the man did things with his hands to hurt the child as well. So it's like, just chopping off the wiener is not going to do anything, right? You got to make this guy not horny.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like there's tons and tons and tons of chaplains and priests and pastors.
Yeah.
Like there's so many, bro. Right. And we hear about the worst of them. And it's not that they're all bad. They're not. In fact, I would argue that the vast majority are very good people who are trying to do good things. You know what I'm saying? But like, we're going to hear about these cases. And it's flawed a little bit, man. I mean, just like the nuns and stuff, like no sex, no relationships. Like we're human. The
thing that sucks is like they're doing nothing about it. It would be like if Amazon came out repeatedly. Oh, another sexual abuse at Amazon. Another sexual Amazon worker got sexually charged. It's like, well, what the fuck are they doing about this? This keeps happening.
Yeah, no consequence at all.
Yeah.
Well, they say, hey, but we'll move you to a different city, but no problem.
Well, and that's the problem with a lot of the shit, isn't there? Like, no consequences for anything. That's why people keep doing the shit that they're doing.
Exactly, Chris. Exactly, man. It's the same with just the small break-ins at Walmart, Walgreens, and shit. Like, if there's no consequence, there's no reason to stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's if they know that they can do what they want to and hurt people and just get moved to a different church, if they're sick enough, they'll just do it. Like, why wouldn't they?
And
and then it just happens all over again. You know, the cycle continues.
Yeah, to a whole new batch of young kids that are looking to him for guidance.
Well, and that's the other thing too. To your point, Chris, is they don't even share that shit with the new church. So you have a whole bunch of families who are like, "Oh, we got this new priest or a new whatever," and their kids are entrusted because it's the church, and they're about love. And all of a sudden, this gets recycled, and then they just move on. It's like literally a tour of savagery, dude.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like city to city, church to church, and just totally fucking kids over.
Well, dude, and then, I know we did talk about iniquity, and Daniel Duvall, who was on Strange Sauna, and I talked to him about this, and he's basically saying that you scar the lineage of the family, right? And it's like, is that what the fuck they're trying to do? Like, what is the end game with this?
Because that would happen. Say you're in this family, and generations of your family have all been churchgoers. Everyone's super faithful and go to church every Sunday, and then something like this happens to you as a kid, you're not going to fucking church anymore. And once you get older, you're not going to send your kids to church anymore. Nobody you know is going to be at church.
Well, and not only that, but you turn your back on God.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, where was God when I was being raped by this fucking priest? Yeah. Right?
Yeah. So that's actually a really good point, that like it almost seems like it's a hit job to bastardize religion and to get people against God. Because if you ask people, why do you not like religion? A lot of people will say there's a lot of like bad doings in religion, right? There's obviously judgmental things and other such things, but like the touching stuff and the priest stuff is a big one for a lot of people, that it's just not holy like they say it is. So yeah, if you want to destroy religion, have the priests touch kids, bro. Yeah,
so that's why they keep them circulating. I mean, they want to destroy this country. They want to separate it from God. So, I mean, keep them out there.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Ugh. Anyway, great ending to the show, guys. Let's.
Yeah. It's reality, dude. I know it's like we joke and we're having fun with it, but it's really disturbing, man. Yeah. And
it is.
I just would suggest keep your eyes on the kids. Don't trust anybody. You know
that, and talk to your kids. Make sure that you have a good communication platform with your kids. That way, you know what's going on in their lives.
Absolutely.
Yep, I agree, man. I agree.
Well, everybody, hey, like, subscribe, share our content. Sharing is caring, showing is growing. Thank you guys so much. If you like extra content and you want to support the show, go to Patreon, The Last Americans Podcast. Support us any way you can.
Yes, sir. Love you guys.
Peace out, guys.
Love you all. Cheersies.